From Nebraska's trusted news source, this is Channel 8 News at 4:30.
Now at 4:30, staying steady, the Federal Reserve's decision on interest rates and what that means for millions all over the country. Plus, signing pending. Officials unveil what's in the peace deal with Iran, what needs to happen next for the agreement to take effect. Also, causing concern, the busy intersection bringing questions and fear in the community after a slew of crashes. How officials are responding tonight. Well, we'll begin with a new Federal Reserve decision breaking now. Good afternoon, and thank you so much for being with us. I'm Meg West. The Federal Reserve announcing today it's holding interest rates steady. The decision comes at a critical moment for the U.S. economy as it sees sky-high inflation. ABC's Olivia Rubin breaks down what it means for us.
Today, the Federal Reserve announcing a key decision on interest rates, holding them unchanged at 3.5% to 3.25% as the Iran war pushes inflation higher. It's the first decision from the Fed since Trump nominee Kevin Warsh began his 4-year term as chair.
We recognize that inflation has been running well ahead of the Fed's long-stated inflation goal of 2%.
The decision coming at a key moment in the nation's economy, days after President Trump announced an agreement with Iran in the war. Gas prices falling below $4 a gallon for the first time since April, though prices still well beyond pre-war levels. And inflation rising, surpassing 4% for the first time in 3 years. The 12-member committee at the Fed describing inflation as, quote, elevated, saying it's in part due to supply shocks that have driven price increases in certain sectors, including energy. President Trump, who has publicly pressured the Fed to lower rates for months, saying this today.
Did you see the Fed decision? They held rates today. Did you see that?
It's all right. Whatever.
And stocks sliding on the news, the NASDAQ, Dow, S&P 500 all slipping immediately after the Fed's announcement. Olivia Rubin, ABC News, New York.
Time now for our first forecast. This 4:30, meteorologist Dominic Ferraro gives us a look. Dom, how's it looking out there?
Hey, good afternoon, Meg. Bit of a warm and windy Wednesday out here. That's going to continue through any of your Wednesday night plans. We take a look, though. Plenty of blue skies on your Allo Communications camera looking off then to the west. Temperatures here in Lincoln sit at the mid-80s, but it's breezy out there. Winds out of the north and northwest, right around 20 to 25 miles per hour. We've seen a few wind gusts close to 30 and even 40 in certain parts of the state throughout the afternoon, too. So definitely been kind of a breezy one. That's likely going to continue then into any of those evening plans. But clear skies for the moment, mainly along and south of Interstate 80, and a few more passing fair weather clouds then as you head up towards the Nebraska-South Dakota border. We do have a system departing then off to our north and east. As we go through the rest of the evening, though, that'll help us cool down. Temperatures here maybe another degree or two warmer in Lincoln, but then by 9 o'clock tonight down into the upper 70s, the 60s as we go through the overnight hours. And as that system departs, we should lose the wind speeds too, but certainly breezy then through again any of those Wednesday night plans. So we'll keep an eye on that forecast. Also talking chances then for a few storms as we head through the weekend. We'll have more details on that coming up in a few minutes.
Thanks, Dom. Now to a look at roads as people start to maybe trickle on home from work. This is Northwest 48th and West Adams Street. Not too many cars out there, but a few getting home. And I'm sure it'll start to fill up pretty quick here. Well, Lincoln police are looking for the person responsible for a theft in broad daylight, and it was all caught on camera. Take a look. You can see a man lurking outside a parking lot alongside a dog, which appears to be his. Then moments later, the man approaching a bike, jumping on it and riding away. Authorities say that bike belongs to a child. The theft happening while the kid was inside the McDonald's near 10th and Arapahoe Streets. Now they're looking for the person seen in the video taking the bike. If you have any information, reach out to LPD, or of course you can report to Crime Stoppers anonymously. Well, right now, a busy Lincoln intersection is drawing fresh concern after a growing number of crashes, some fatal.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Here, this is Jake Unwin reporting for Channel 8 News. Just off the corner of 77th and Homestead Parkway, there have been several crashes as of late. There's a huge construction project being done by the NDOT that is causing some traffic concerns. And well, there has been one fatal crash as well. The latest crash happening just this morning. And so we are talking with local drivers to get their reactions on that part of town. But also we'll be hearing from the Nebraska Department of Transportation on the latest crash as well. We'll have that for you right here on the news at 5 and 6.
And we are now getting our first look at the memorandum of understanding the U.S. signed with Iran. A formal signing is expected this Friday in Switzerland. ABC's Karen Travers is there in Geneva with more.
As President Trump wrapped up his visit to the G7 summit, U.S. officials read to reporters on a conference call the memo of understanding signed by the U.S. and Iran.
One thing I didn't want to see economic catastrophe. If you kept this going, that could have happened.
It's a 14-point agreement, the U.S. agreeing to lift the blockade of Iranian ports and Iran reopening the Strait of Hormuz. Iran reaffirms it will not procure or develop nuclear weapons, something it agreed to in 2015 as part of its deal with the Obama administration. But President Trump pulled the U.S. out of that agreement during his first term. Iran could see significant financial reward once this agreement is implemented. The deal would lift sanctions on Iran following further negotiations. It would eventually make fully available frozen or restricted funds and assets of Iran, and Iran would be allowed to freely sell oil immediately. The U.S. would also work with regional partners to develop a plan for a $300 billion reconstruction and economic development fund for Iran.
Only if they're doing things right.
There will now be 60 days of negotiations over the future of Iran's nuclear program.
There's not one nation that came to us and said, please, sir, keep dropping bombs on them.
Still unsettled, the removal of Iran's stockpile of highly enriched uranium and the issue of tolling in the Strait of Hormuz. The agreement says it will be toll-free for 60 days, but says Iran and Oman will work together to define the future administration and maritime services there. Iran's foreign ministry today reiterated that the U.S. and Iran pledged to stop the war on all fronts, especially Lebanon, something that Israel has not agreed to, a potentially major roadblock for the U.S.-Iran deal. Karen Travers, ABC News, Geneva, Switzerland.
Pope Leo praising the peace deal between the U.S. and Iran. The pontiff saying the deal is a result of patient work and dialogue and negotiation. Pope Leo saying he hopes the agreement will help strengthen mutual trust, security, and stability in the Middle East. Breaking now, the first major tropical storm of the season, fast developing near Texas as we speak. According to the National Weather Service, Tropical Storm Arthur is forming near the Gulf Coast right now. The storm bringing intense rain and the threat of dangerous flash floods to the region, including Texas and Louisiana. Leading up to the storm, days of rainfall seen across Texas, like what you're looking at right now. The NWS says the center of the storm is located about 40 miles east to northeast of Port O'Connor in Texas. We are closely monitoring the storm's development and will keep you updated as it progresses. Well, when we get right back, we've got for you the city's call for contributions. Learn about the city's new and ambitious project and how leaders are looking to raise millions of dollars from the community. And we're taking you deeper into the failed terror plot at the White House involving a Nebraskan. Coming up at 5, we speak with a threat assessment expert to uncover the concerning patterns that may have been missed as the suspect's community grapples with this shocking reality. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Right now, the capital city is topping the charts for how tax dollars are used. A new ranking names Lincoln among the nation's top cities for effective leadership. The survey giving our leaders extra points for how they manage our money. Mayor Leron Gaylor-Baird is responding to the report.
For Channel 8 News, I'm Adrian Ward. Local leadership earning a top 10 ranking. Lincoln named number 9 best run city in America by Wallet Hub. They looked at 6 factors: financial stability, education, health, safety, economy, and infrastructure and pollution. Now, our highest ranking was in the financial stability category. They named us second best in the nation. We reached out to Mayor Leron Gaylor-Baird for her thoughts on the ranking. She sent us this statement. She says, quote, Lincoln's place among the nation's best run cities is a reflection of the dedicated city teammates who work every day to provide excellent services and be responsible stewards of taxpayer dollars. This ranking reinforces our commitment to ensure every community member enjoys a good life in a safe, vibrant, and forward-moving city, end quote. Let us know 328-1. Let us know why you think Lincoln is a well-run city on our Now Local News app today.
New at 4:30, kids in Lincoln kicking off the summer with some learning and exploration at the Children's Museum today.
It was so fun. It was very rumbly as well.
Clearly an exciting and fun experience for those kiddos as they got a hands-on look at Project O Street in downtown Lincoln. The showcase was part of the mayor's conference this morning. The mayor announcing a new community fundraising campaign to help fund a new central library on O Street. The price tag, around $58 million. The city says the library is expected to be up and running in the summer of 2028. And now to our full forecast, we're going to head on over to meteorologist Dominic Ferraro. Dom, it's all you.
Well, we're still looking at those warmer temperatures here for a bit longer, especially for those south of Interstate 80. Temperatures still in the mid-80s for Lincoln, Hebron, Beatrice, McCook, close to 90 degrees. That's going to continue for a little bit longer. The winds will continue for a little bit longer here, too. Wind gusts at the moment anywhere between 30 to 40 miles per hour, especially in the northeastern corner of the state. Broken Bow there, also in central Nebraska, close to 40 miles per hour, as well as Valentine. So we've seen some stronger winds out there. These are going to continue till probably at least sunset tonight. And then we'll dwindle as we go through the overnight hours. But clear skies at the moment. We may see a few more passing clouds here coming down from north central Nebraska as we go through the rest of your evening. But I do think the majority of us, though, shouldn't have any issues to those outdoor planes as long as we don't blow away. That's kind of the main key there. Now, as we take a look at Stormcast going forward, cloud cover is expected to increase as we go through the overnight hours. There's a chance we could see a few sprinkles here along the I-80 corridor here very early Thursday morning. This is 3 a.m., likely moving through the capital city then closer to 4 or 5 o'clock. Maybe a sprinkle or two of that sticking around for the morning commute. But I think the majority of us, though, probably going to stay on the dry side, especially with most of the humidity leaving the region here with those stronger winds this afternoon as well. Then we'll see clear skies as we go throughout your Thursday afternoon into Thursday evening. Maybe a few more passing fair weather clouds, but another quiet start to the day on the way here for your Friday. Now, as we head into the weekend, a bit of a different story. Here's Saturday. It's going to be quiet really for the first half of the day. Then as we head towards the afternoon, chances for showers and thunderstorms do increase as you head out towards central and western Nebraska. These chances are going to shift then off to the east as we go throughout your Saturday afternoon and into Saturday evening, potentially even carrying over then here into early Sunday morning. This is one model's look at it. I've seen these kind of pushing through the capital city a little closer to midnight. This is 3, 4 o'clock, and compared to this afternoon run to the morning run of this same model, that moved up by a couple hours too. So we'll keep an eye on kind of the trends of that going forward, but it certainly looks to be late Saturday night into early Sunday morning, then followed by a fair amount of cloud cover here to close out your Father's Day. If we take a look at the severe weather potential, though, already got the Storm Prediction Center's attention here as they labeled this as severe weather possible here for Saturday night into Sunday morning. That's kind of the equivalent of a slight level 2 out of 5 risk this far out. So not really a whole lot of details on those specific hazards yet, but it's something we will be monitoring over the next couple of days. And of course, throughout the weekend, we'll have plenty more details coming up tonight at 5, 6, and 10 o'clock.
Thank you, Dom. And now let's take a live look outside at some of the traffic on our Lincoln roads. Definitely picking up a bit. This is the roundabout on 56 and Yankee Hill. Still not too busy, but a lot of vehicles go through this area once it's rush hour. So if you're headed home from work right now, though, it looks like pretty smooth sailing. Now, developing now, a rush for answers after a small plane crash on a Texas highway, killing one person and injuring 5 others. You can see the shocking video here showing the crash site today. The plane now cut into 2 pieces, laying on the highway. Witnesses there last night say the scene looked like a horror movie with the plane up in flames. Good Samaritans running into the chaos to try to save those inside. ABC's Rena Roy reports.
Dramatic video shows the moments after a private jet landed on a busy highway just south of Laredo, Texas. The small plane on its side split in 2 with flames shooting out, 6 people trapped inside. Good Samaritans rushing to rescue them. The pilot can be seen in the cockpit as they attempt to smash the windshield, smoke billowing out of the opening.
It looked like a horror movie.
Zaira Garza and her husband were on the highway driving home.
We saw that there was actually movement inside the aircraft. That's when my husband jumped out of the car and went straight to help out.
The Cessna Citation Latitude had taken off from San Jose del Cabo, Mexico, en route to Austin, but diverted to Laredo due to what police say was some kind of mechanical issue.
At 9:55 p.m., they did call the Laredo airport, and they communicated to them that they had mechanical issues. Then at approximately 10 p.m., that's when we started getting the calls that there was an aircraft crash.
Be advised, we have one patient, 10-4. He wrecked into the plane wing.
1 person killed, the 5 others taken to the hospital in stable condition.
Several of the people who jumped in to help were also treated for smoke inhalation. The NTSB now investigating how this happened. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
New tonight, authorities in Lincoln looking for a suspect wanted in a hit and run. They say it happened last Tuesday morning near Nebraska Parkway and Southwood Drive. Police getting a report from one of the drivers telling them that another person hit the side of his vehicle and then sped off. The victim's dash camera capturing this video of the hit and run incident. Authorities say the car they're looking for is a Dodge Charger with a backwards flag on it. Call LPD or Crime Stoppers with any information. An intense officer training in Norfolk, the police division there sharing this video of the exercise at a home in the city. They say the officers there were reinforcing their skills and abilities to protect the community using real-world scenarios just like the ones you're seeing there on your screen. They say trainings like this keeps them ready to respond at all times. Well, still ahead at 4:30, the future of Nebraska volleyball is starting to come together. Learn about the team's brand new commit and what she's bringing to Big Red. Our Nate Johnson will have that for us coming up. And coming up, all new at 5, a reward for hard work. How some top-performing Lincoln students got to enjoy the spotlight for their scores on the ACT exams. Nebraska volleyball picked up its third top 10 commit from the class of 2028 today. So it's certainly been a busy couple of days for the team as they continue to piece together a special roster. For the latest, let's bring in Channel 8 Sports Director Nate Johnson. Nate?
Hey, thanks, Meg. Yeah, Nebraska picked up 2 big commits this week, and today picked up a third top 10 recruit from the class of 2028, a 6'5" opposite from San Juan Hills, California, Megan Hodges. Hodges is thought of as, well, the top opposite hitter in the class of 2028. She is the number 3 overall prospect by Prep Volleyball and the number 6 prospect by Prep Dig. Hodges helped lead San Juan Hills High School to back-to-back South Coast League championships in 2024 and 2025. She led the team with 381 kills, 73 blocks, and 38 aces in 29 matches last season. And she joins 2 other top 10 recruits in the class of 2028. We'll start with 6'2" setter Jocelyn Samuels from South Dakota. She's the number 4 overall prospect according to Prep Dig and number 6 by Prep Volleyball. And she joins Nebraska native Shayla Rautenberg, who is Prep Dig's number 3 overall prospect and Prep Volleyball's number 4 prospect in the class of 2028, who helped Milford win state titles in both volleyball and basketball this year. Nebraska volleyball is cooking this offseason, bringing in some top talent. The future of Nebraska volleyball is looking bright with a big horizon, a big season on the horizon. That'll do it for me, though. For now, we'll see you back here in the Sports Zone. Meg, we'll send things back over to you.
Right now, the city of Beatrice preparing to start sending out camera-equipped cars. Now, they'll be mapping out the electrical infrastructure around town with the help of Kearney-based company Fast Forward. They say the project will give the Beatrice Electric Department detailed information that will help them work more efficiently. So you might see those cars topped with mounted camera systems traveling throughout Beatrice streets and alleyways. They'll be working on this through Friday. Time now for a final check of our forecast. Dominic, over to you.
Yeah, Meg, still a bit breezy for the rest of your Wednesday evening. We'll likely see those stronger winds stick around till about sunset and maybe an hour or 2 after that. 80s definitely a safe bet over the next couple of hours as well. So just be ready for some warmer summertime weather then for any of your Wednesday evening plans. Temperatures tonight down into the upper 50s to then lower 60s. Even a few spots might even hang on to the mid 60s in far southeastern Nebraska, but those winds will slowly decrease as we go through the overnight hours. And then should be a fairly refreshing day ahead here for your Thursday. Highs into the upper 70s and lower 80s. Northwesterly breeze too should help keep the humidity manageable as we go throughout the afternoon and evening there. Maybe a spot shower or 2 pretty early in the morning, but I do think the majority of us will stay on the dry side. We then return to the mid to upper 80s once again for your Friday forecast. Sunshine's going to be the key here as we head into the weekend, but Saturday, chances for showers and thunderstorms likely going to be pretty late in the day for us here in southeastern Nebraska, and then they'll continue into early Sunday morning. Can't rule out the possibility, though, of some severe weather with that, with high temperatures fairly close to average there in the mid to upper 80s, too. So definitely going to be a good weekend to stay weather aware, likely looking at some sort of showers, and at least for the start of your Father's Day forecast. As always, we'll have plenty more details as we go throughout the rest of the evening.
All right, thanks, Tom. Well, that'll do it for Channel 8 News at 4:30. Rod Fowler is up next, along with our team of reporters and now citizen journalists. Coming up at the top of the hour. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
The
Nebraska's trusted news source. This is Channel 8 News at 5.
Coming up tonight, recruiting talent. Nebraska volleyball announcing some of the newest members to their team, what they're hoping to get out of their fresh recruits. Also tonight, understanding the memorandum.
One thing I didn't want to see is I didn't want to see economic catastrophe. If you kept this going, that could have happened.
U.S. officials letting the public know what's in the agreement between the U.S. and Iran. What President Trump says he'll do if they don't get the deal signed in the new 60-day window. Also, bar break-in.
Just to be clear, he literally stole the entire... The whole machine.
Police are searching for this man in connection to a burglary. How they say he was able to carry this entire ATM out of the bar on his own. And threat assessment. Tonight, everyone is wondering how anyone could be behind the dangerous plot against the White House. We asked the experts. Developing now, a desperate search for answers. Why? That's the question being asked across Nebraska tonight. Prosecutors say Abraham Alvarez, also known as the Shepherd, organized an alleged plot. The Nebraskan, along with 4 others, behind bars tonight. It comes after 5 people are charged with plotting to attack UFC event at the White House. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Rod Fowler. This is weighing on the minds of many with the Nebraska connection to the crime. So we wanted to know what violent trends people should look out for, and could this have happened at the event, which is swarming with security? Channel 8's Danielle Da Silva joins us now with more on that. Danielle.
Rod, I spent time talking to Dr. Erin Carnes from UNO. She studies counterterrorism, including a suspect's motives and what the everyday person can be on the lookout for, and she begins with her initial reaction to the news.
Unfortunately, not surprised that a large high-profile event like this would have been the target of a violent plot.
Professor Carnes is a leader at Nebraska's NSITE, the National Counterterrorism Innovation Technology Education Center. She says protection at events like Sunday's UFC fight is multifaceted and complex.
This is typically you're going to have stakeholders from different law enforcement agencies, potentially oversight with federal law enforcement, as well as potentially private security, nearby businesses.
Working together to not only protect the event, but also the surrounding areas. But despite this, individuals like Abraham Hermosillo Alvarez out of Omaha will try doing so in cahoots with others across the country.
This is something that is becoming somewhat more common, where it is disparate actors who are connecting over the internet, perhaps have never even met each other in real life, and are planning to engage in this real life violence.
Other trends, the use of unmanned aerial systems. So how can the everyday person recognize it before it happens?
One of the things that is so critically important and happened here is that one of the individuals who's been arrested, his mother actually noticed behavioral changes in him and what he was doing.
Carnes adds this is extremely critical during earlier stages.
One is expecting that someone's mother is going to have all of the expertise to get to the bottom of what's going on, but she did the right thing. She alerted law enforcement who do have that expertise, and to be able to look at this more holistically and see that there actually is a plot that was underway, and being able to step in and thwart that actual plot.
Dr. Carnes and NSITE are focusing their research on threats to public officials and the creative ways criminals plan attacks, long before this particular attack made headlines. We'll link it in this article at KLKNTV.com. Reporting live, Danielle Da Silva, Channel 8 News.
All right. Thank you, Danielle. We wanted to know if this situation raises any concerns for our local lawmakers about the threat of violent extremism originating in Nebraska. So we hopped on a call with Senator Pete Ricketts to ask him just that.
We're not immune from these sort of things in Nebraska, and that's why we need to continue to be vigilant and continue to remind people that this type of behavior is never acceptable. And again, it's anti-American. It is actually undermines the very fabric of our republic.
He says Nebraskans need to remain vigilant, and he's very thankful the family of one of the other suspects called police when they got wind of their son's plans. As this plot unfolds further, we're bringing you important information on our Now Local News app. Our team here at KLKN working round the clock to get you up to speed. Scan the QR code right there on your screen to download the Now Local News app so you can be in the know as more information trickles in on the Nebraskans' alleged involvement in this plot of terror. Well, breaking now, the Federal Reserve deciding to leave interest rates alone. It's the fourth consecutive policy meeting where Fed members voted to hold rates steady. The majority of them are predicting keeping rates where they are for the rest of the year, with one possible rate hike. Today's announcement coming after inflation spiked to a 3-year high last month.
We recognize that inflation has been running well ahead of the Fed's long-stated inflation goal of 2%.
Stocks dropping immediately after the Fed's announcement. All three major indexes falling today around 1%. We're now getting our first look at the memorandum of understanding that the U.S. signed with Iran. President Trump signing it just hours after wrapping up his visit to the G7 summit today. As U.S. officials read a transcript of the memo to reporters, here's more information. It's a 14-point agreement. The U.S. agreeing to lift the blockade of Iranian ports and Iran reopening the Strait of Hormuz. Iran also reaffirms it will not procure or develop nuclear weapons. Now, there would be financial rewards for Iran, including the unfreezing of that country's assets and lifting of sanctions. It would also allow Iran to freely sell oil immediately.
One thing I didn't want to see is I didn't want to see economic catastrophe. If you kept this going, that could have happened.
The U.S. would also work to develop a plan for a $300 billion reconstruction and economic development fund for Iran. There's now going to be 60 days of negotiations over the future of Iran's nuclear program. Breaking now, a car crash early this afternoon sending one person to the hospital with serious injuries. Citizen journalist Brian capturing the aftermath of the crash at Highway 77 and Warlick Boulevard. You can see first responders standing on top of one of the vehicles, attempting to get an 88-year-old Lincoln woman out. Police say she was crossing Highway 77 when this happened. They say she has non-life-threatening injuries. Now, as the investigation continues, police have told us that right now, no citations have been given out at this time. Let's check your first forecast for this Wednesday evening, taking a live look from our tower cam, which, as many of you know, is located right outside our station here. Another decent day. Yeah, a little windy, felt like summer. Is that going to continue as we work our way through the rest of the work week? Here's Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins. Rusty.
Yeah, kind of a windy day today, but it's Nebraska. I mean, we're used to the wind just about every day somewhere at least. But today we had some wind gusts around 30-40 miles per hour, and outside right now a little bit of shimmy to the camera with just a mixture of clouds and sun, and we'll see temperatures eventually dropping into the 70s as we head towards sunset. 85 degrees by 7 p.m. That northwest wind eventually dying off after sunset, down to 5 to 15 miles per hour by 11 p.m. and 72 degrees with partly cloudy skies. Plenty of sunshine out there right now on our Shones roofing cam. We have 6th and Perkins, 6 South 6th Street and Perkins with just a lot of sunshine out there and a little bit of wind. Mostly sunny skies for the southern half of the state, partly cloudy for the northern half, and a spot shower just north of Sioux City. Temperatures are in the 70s and 80s, very close to 90 in a couple of spots, 87 in Beatrice and Hebron, 89 in McCook. Very dry too. Temperatures, dew point temperatures right around 50 for southeast Nebraska, 40s for everybody else. And there's that wind out of the northwest at 10 to 25 miles per hour, gusting to 35 to 45 miles per hour in north central Nebraska. Valentine the highest at 46. Hour by hour, those temperatures drop into the 60s by early tomorrow morning. The wind gusts die off almost as soon as the sun goes down. We go from 33 to 19 in the blink of an eye. So we are going to see the wind die off and the precipitation chance increase. That forecast in a few.
Thank you, Rusty. Right now, Lincoln Public Schools is getting ready to hear feedback about this next year's proposed budget. In fact, you can have your say on it this next Tuesday, June 23rd. Anyone can attend this special work session in the district office boardroom at 4:30 p.m. You can also speak at the 6 p.m. regular school board meeting. The school board says community engagement is crucial, and they want the public to ask questions and provide feedback when it comes to the proposed budget. Also right now, Governor Pillen signing his name on the Fairness for Girls constitutional amendment. It's aimed at making sex-separate athletics permanent. by adding rules into the state's foundational law. The governor saying this isn't about politics. He says, quote, it's about doing what's right to prevent our young women from competing against biological males. New tonight, a recognition ceremony for Nebraska students. We're talking about those who achieved a perfect ACT score. KOKN joining the ceremony today. Let's take a look at the event. A room full of people applauding students with those perfect scores. Remarks from lots of people about keeping these talented students in Nebraska for college and careers. Even Governor Pillen in attendance today, giving his congratulations to the students, and we'd like to congratulate them too. I was very far from a perfect score. All right, stay with us. We have more for you after the break, and a new slate of stories in our 6 o'clock newscast, including ordered to stay. RFK Jr. telling one hantavirus exposed passenger to remain quarantining at UNMC instead of quarantining at their home. Why the passenger says his guidance is wrong. And coming up after the break, malicious movement, how a suspect was able to break into a bar and carry this massive ATM out of there. We'll be right back. Right now, the Lancaster County Sheriff's Office is searching for a suspect in a burglary. The man you see here wasn't drawing money out of this ATM at Kramer Bar and Grill. Last night, he would carry this entire machine out of the bar and haul it away. Let's take a closer look. Deputies say he forced his way into the bar in southwest Lancaster County through a window at 4 a.m. yesterday. He then carried the ATM out of the bar, leaving some damage behind. They're saying about $1,900 was in the ATM, and the machine itself worth about $2,000.
We do know it was just him. So he did not have an accomplice, at least inside the building, that helped him take it out.
Was he also trying to steal the other machine next to it?
He did, and he left it outside.
Why the suspect was unable to take the gambling machine next to the ATM is unclear, but it was undamaged. They're asking anyone with information about this crime to report what they know to the Lancaster County Sheriff's Office, or you can remain anonymous by calling Crime Stoppers. Also new tonight, Lincoln Police releasing new numbers when it comes to break-ins and theft. They say they have about 500 cases of larceny from cars so far this year. 2/3 of them were a result of cars being left unlocked. There have been 33 cases of burglaries from garages so far this year, and all of them were a result of the garage doors being left open.
Now, your Storm Alert Team forecast with Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins.
I mentioned this yesterday. As long as there's no substantial precipitation in the western half, well, really most of the state, but especially the western half of the state, as long as they stay dry and it's windy and it's warm and the humidity is low, there will be red flag warnings. We just need rain. That's what's going to take care of this. Until then, red flag warnings in place. This is through tonight. Would not surprise me if we see more and more and more. Wind advisory for today. This goes until 9 o'clock this evening for the northeastern corner of the state. Wind is starting to die down. I think it's got a couple more hours and then it'll be done. Temperatures today very close to normal for the highs. The lows, though, we were at 71 this morning. 63 is your normal, so we were well above that average low temperature. It was a warm start to the day, that's for sure. Mostly sunny skies on our Barrie Law Cam. A little shake and shimmy to the camera. It has been on the windy side, but nothing too out of the ordinary. Cooler to the north and west, upper 70s, lower 80s, then the middle 80s, and then the upper 80s like Beatrice and Hebron at 87, 89 over there in McCook, 85 Nebraska City, 86 Lincoln. So lower, between 80 and 85, 86 degrees should just about do it for all of us. Dew point makes 89 sound a whole lot better when you have a dew point that's right around 50. So we'll hang on to these lower dew points for as long as we can. Those will likely start to come to an end here in the next few weeks. The wind speed it's still up there at anywhere from 18 to 25 miles per hour. Wind gusts, not too shabby here. I mean, it's still 31 miles per hour in Lincoln, 25 in Beatrice, 33 in Grand Island. But up here, you're looking at anywhere from 35 to 45 or 46 miles per hour. This will stay mainly to the north, these gustier winds. And then as soon as the sun goes down, in fact, I'll show you that. This is 6 p.m. Watch what happens after 9. Just boop, that's about it. So I think around 9 or 10 o'clock tonight, the wind, if you're walking against the wind, you might fall down because it's going to die off that quickly. There is one severe thunderstorm warning over here. That kind of surprised me. I wasn't expecting to see that. Just north of Sioux City, it's associated with just a little bit of a line. I think it's more of a wind threat than anything else. Most of, if not all of Nebraska is rain-free. Little bit of a boundary. Tries to slide from north to south. 90% of this won't get to the ground, a very dry atmosphere, obviously. But if you see a sprinkle or two very early tomorrow morning, that's why. Just a very weak system. Notice it fizzles out as we head through the morning hours. But again, a sprinkle or two a possibility the first half of the day on Thursday, then mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies the second half of the day. Looking towards Saturday, keeping a close eye on Saturday, still a very large area with a risk for severe weather. This will get fine-tuned the closer we get. This is kind of what it looks like right now. Starts off to the west, makes its way into central Nebraska in the afternoon, into eastern Nebraska by the evening hours, and then floats on through. Hopefully this just turns into a heavy rain threat, but this definitely could have some severe weather attached to it as we head through Saturday night into Sunday morning, keeping a very close eye on that. What will help out would be this. That storm system could give us a good chunk of rain. Unfortunately, it starts here, and guess who needs the rain the most? There. So that always seems to happen. People that need it the most just don't get it. Temperatures tonight right around 60, highs tomorrow very close to 80, which is a little below average. Back to normal on Friday and Saturday, just a few spot showers Thursday and Friday, that storm chance Saturday and Sunday. Temperatures in the 80s all the way through next week.
Thank you, Rusty. America's 250th anniversary is right around the corner, and Lincoln Mayor Gaylor Baird is getting the city prepared. She's announcing a spectacular fireworks celebration taking place at Haymarket Park, along with live music. As she says, there's going to be fun for the entire family. The gates are going to open at 5 p.m. on July 3rd for all events. She also says there's going to be a lot of surprises along the way. We'll have to wait and see. Speaking of the mayor, new tonight, she and other community leaders are starting a fundraising campaign. It's for Lincoln's new $46 million Central Public Library. Now, the city has already received about half of that, a little more than $21 million in pledges, and is now inviting the public to join in on the cause. We tuned in to the call where the mayor gave us some passionate reasoning behind the call to action for the community.
Everyone can be a part of building this important legacy. This project is a love letter to our community and to future generations of Lincolnites.
They're expecting construction on this new library to begin later this year, with the library fully opening in 2028. Also new tonight, York Public Schools sharing a progress update on the construction they're doing at their elementary school. They're nearing completion on the flooring and the doors on their preschool wing. They're getting the hardwood in the new gym. The kitchen and cafeteria are getting demolished to make way for framing for new space. We'll keep you posted as they get closer to completion. Nebraska volleyball picked up its third top 10 commit from the class of 2028 today. It's been a busy couple of days for Big Red as they continue to piece together a special class. For the latest, let's bring in Channel 8 Sports Director Nate Johnson. Hey, Nate.
Yeah, hey, thank you, Rod. Nebraska picked up 2 big commits this week, and today picked up a third top 10 recruit from the class of 2028, a 6'5" opposite from San Juan Hills, California, Megan Hodges. Hodges is thought of as the top opposite hitter in the class of 2028. She is the number 3 overall prospect by Prep Volleyball and the number 6 prospect by Prep Digs. Hodges helped lead San Juan Hills High School to back-to-back South Coast League championships in 2024 and 2025. She led the team with 381 kills, 73 blocks, and 38 aces in 29 matches last season. And she joins 2 other top 10 recruits in the class of 2028. We'll start with 6'2" setter Jocelyn Samuels from South Dakota. She is the number 4 overall prospect according to Prep Dig, and number 6 by Prep Volleyball. And she joins Nebraska native Shayla Rautenberg, who is Prep Dig's number 3 overall prospect and Prep Volleyball's number 4 prospect in the class of 2028, who helped Milford win state titles in both volleyball and basketball this year. Nebraska volleyball is cooking this offseason, bringing in some top talent. The future of Nebraska volleyball is looking bright with a big season on the horizon. That'll do it for me for now, though. Rod will send things back over to you.
Thank you so much, Nate. Stay with us. We have more heading your way after the break, and a whole lot more coming up at 6 o'clock, including swine flu breakthrough. UNL announcing a big step forward in their vaccine creation. How their newest vaccine promises to greatly strengthen disease protection. We'll be right back. Warm.
Ooh, we need 3 W's. What's another W?
Wild?
Sure. We do have one isolated strong storm well to our north and east, but it's trying to move through. That's associated with a frontal boundary that will eventually come through our area late tonight. Might give us a sprinkle or two. It's running into a lot of dry air, so probably not going to see much of anything. But temperatures around 80 to 85 degrees for most of us, a little warmer in southeast Nebraska. Overnight tonight, temperatures dropping into the 50s and 60s. Highs tomorrow struggle a little bit. I think after that cold front moves through, 70s to around 80. So a nice cool mid-June kind of day. We warm back up closer to normal on Friday and Saturday. A spot shower Thursday and Friday, a possibility. Better chance Saturday into Sunday, and then temperatures kind of hover in the 80s with more chances for storms next week. So hopefully we can see some rain because we do really need it.
All right. Thank you, Rusty, and thank you so much for joining us. World News is coming your way next. We'll be back here at 6 o'clock. Hope to see you then.